Floyd Mayweather has given a stunning response to Terence Crawford beating Israil Madrimov in their exceptionally serious battle. Crawford guaranteed the WBA junior middleweight title by getting a consistent choice triumph against Madrimov. The early adjusts of the session happened at a strategic speed. The subsequent rounds rushed. Speed rankled the Los Angeles crowd regardless of the group's response. Crawford found his score and sped up his speed as the battle wore on. He easily landed counterpunches, while Mauve battled to overcome any barrier between them in spite of the difficulties Moravi had his. Snapshots of splendor. He gathered acclaim from various previous contenders and experts for his expertise in keeping an upper hand and conveying strong punches in a few rounds. Madrimov adapted to the situation, conveying a veritable test for Crawford. It was vital for Madrimov to pose a huge test, particularly since this undeniable Crawford's presentation in the 154 pounds weight class. All through the match, Madrimov handled some strong power shots and kept up with persevering tension. Well, like everyone knew coming into the battle, he had quick feet. He had great mood higher up, and he was solid, And he was holding up to counter me, very much like I was attempting to counter him. He was extremely focused. He wasn't coming in tossing in wild shots like I expected him to do, and he had decent battle high level sent along a feature clasp of Bud exhibiting his fast shoot counterpunching. Crawford overwhelmed the ring over the course of the late evening. Displaying his strategic ability while he ceased from tireless hostility, he capably acquired focuses. His strong decision got him the appointed authorities' approval on the scorecards. This triumph further decorates a generally heavenly boxing resume, situating Crawford among the tip-top. With this win, he got a world title in the 154 pounds weight class, denoting his fourth division success. This most recent accomplishment follows his predominantly prevailing residency as a welterweight, setting his status as a considerable power in the game. Since venturing into the welterweight division in 2018, Crawford has ruled the scene. His ascent started with an unequivocal 10th round technical knockout against WBO champion Jeff Horn. From that point, he savagely protected his title multiple times, finishing in a stupendous 10th round technical knockout triumph over Errol Spence Jr. to bind together every one of the belts. Spence Jr. had a rematch proviso which he practiced. Yet Crawford became tired of the discussions, the agreement ran out, and the Brassin was given this opportunity. Getting this belt wasn't Crawford's essential inspiration for venturing into the lesser middleweight division. His sights are set on what could be the main episode of his vocation. An expected confrontation with Canelo Alvarez. Turki Alek, the head of Saudi Arabia's overall diversion authority, has informed Crawford that he intends to coordinate a significant session for him. Alek told ESPN, "Nobody conveyed a decent battle for him. When you arrive at this season, old enough in magnificence, you start your ruckuses, assuming they give you the right cash and the right warriors. You will take it. Nobody gave him the over the most recent 4 years whenever Crawford took advantage of his opportunity to exhibit his abilities against an impressive rival like Spence. Executed a presentation of sheer brightness. Alvarez currently addresses the following zenith in his profession. As per Seat Reports' most recent pound-for-pound rankings, Crawford and Alvarez stand at third and fourth separately. In the meantime, Terence Crawford offered a chilly reaction to Eddie Hearn's scrutinize of the adjudicators following his most recent session. In spite of the success, Buds appeared to experience issues adjusting to Madrimov's unconventional battling approach. In spite of the fact that he had all the earmarks of being the more dynamic contender, holding a slight edge in numbers, Madrimov showed more noteworthy accuracy with his punches. Crawford, anyway, escalated his assault in the later adjusts, squeezing the USBC rival with a higher volume of strikes and steady strain regardless of the session being firmly challenged. The appointed authorities granted Crawford the triumph with scores of 116, 112, 115, 113, and 115, 113, making him the new WBA super welterweight champion. In the post-F battle interview, Eddie Hearn, the director of Matchroom Boxing and Madrimov's advertiser, scrutinized the scorecards. He expressed that the compelling punches were all approaching from Israil Madrimov and recognized that Crawford had a decent whirlwind in the last adjust. He depicted the battle as really close and communicated his conviction that, as a challenger, one must conclusively take the belt from the top dog, which he felt Terence Crawford didn't do. Hearn commended Crawford's splendor, however, declared that in his view Madrimov should have been the top dog that evening. Crawford was requested to remark on Eddie Hearn's assessment from the battle. At the public interview held following the battle, he addressed, "You must comprehend that is his warrior. He will say anything that he can to publicity it up. You realize that person lost. Thus does his group. Thus does he in 2023. Crawford was expected to confront Errol Spence Jr. again, subsequent to guaranteeing the undisputed welterweight title with a triumph over him. Yet, that rematch never emerged. Rather, Spence is set to take on Sebastian Fundora for the WBC and WBO super welterweight crowns soon should Spence triumphant. A possible rematch with Crawford could turn into a reality in the super welterweight positions. It was Bud's most memorable appearance at 154 pounds after already vanquishing titles at 135 and getting undisputed status at both 140 and 147. He seemed fit and sure at the new weight, venturing into the ring as the lean-toward competitor against the bigger, however less prepared UFC champion. Madrimov remained savagely serious, making extensive progress against his American rival. The American standard drive for an unequivocal completion appeared to be quelled by the constant power shots coming his direction. The trades were successive and extraordinary, and a few swing adjusts are probably going to start nearer examination from those dissecting the battle in the not-so-distant future. The triumph denoted the finish of Crawford's great dash of 11 continuous stoppage wins following the session. Crawford commended Madrimov as extreme and solid. Madrimov, on his part, communicated his conviction that he had done what's necessary to get the success and voiced his craving for a rematch. This opinion came not long before his advertiser Eddie Hearn showed up with a genuine study of the adjudicator's scorecards, all for Crawford. Hearn commented that it seemed like an exercise in futility as he contradicted the 11:62 score, demanding that Madrimov was in the battle. He felt that on the grounds that Madrimov was battling Terence Crawford, he didn't get a fair opportunity. Hearn noticed that every one of the compelling punches came from Israil. Madrimov, recognizing Crawford's great whirlwind in the last or 10th round, he portrayed the battle as really close and communicated his conviction that a challenger should conclusively accept the belt from the top dog, which he felt Crawford didn't do despite the fact that he lauded Crawford's brightness. Hearn declared that Madrimov merited being champion that evening. He communicated disappointment with the scorecards, feeling that it put forth the attempt to appear futile as two of them showed a 4-round contrast. Hearn noticed the quietness in Crawford's corner all through the battle and noticed their uneasiness in the 12th round, suggesting that they realized the battle was exceptionally close. He felt that the appointed authorities recognized Madrimov in light of the fact that he was battling Crawford, proposing that the result appeared to be foreordained and that there were outer assumptions and plans for Crawford's triumph. Crawford's drive to protect a session with Saul Canelo Alvarez in a higher weight class showed up remarkably quelled, contrasted with his past enthusiasm. While he recognized that such a battle could emerge, assuming the monetary terms were engaging, and saw it as a stage towards more prominent praise, his ongoing need is to love family time and relish his new triumphs in the meantime. BAC Tanessa, Crawford's mentor, has been there for Bud, tossed good and bad, and expressed his viewpoint. He noticed a savage fight similarly as every other person did, talking in a media scrum after the battle. Crawford coach BAC said of Crawford's rival, "Definitely it was a chess match. That man was extreme as he was extreme. I let everyone know that he would have been intense. He was somewhat precarious, slippery with that right hand. Bud ate a couple of them. However, he got the success that matters for sure." Crawford demonstrated his own durability this evening by delivering what he sent and being grating when vital, a genuine chess match in another example.